Several tornadoes strike the 4 states, hitting Quapaw, Baxter Springs, and Fort Scott. We have the very latest on this deadly outbreak.
Now in high definition, you're watching KODE Action 12 News at 10.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us. I'm Jennifer Piñate. Several tornadoes hit the 4 states this evening, including a deadly storm to strike Quapaw. Action 12's Gretchen Bolander is live in Quapaw with the very latest. Gretchen.
That's right, Jennifer. Here in Quapaw, 5 people have been injured and 1 has been declared dead, believed to have actually been someone passing through town taking shelter in a vacant building. That happening just before 6 o'clock this evening when a tornado started from the southwest, came onto Main Street, traveled north for about 5 blocks, and damaging about a 4-block wide radius. I actually have the police chief of Quapaw here. Chief, if you want to come on over and tell us a little bit more about what happened here today. I understand search and rescue was a primary concern in the beginning.
Right. Search and rescue, multiple people from different agencies checked the areas that were affected in the very beginning, and then followed up later on checking the same areas, and we feel pretty confident that as far as search and rescue goes, everybody in every place has been checked and accounted for.
And Chief Gary Graham, I understand at this point you do have some traffic coming into town, but traffic is not back to normal?
No, not completely. We just, right before I come up here, we opened up the northbound as well. So 69A Main Street through town is open. We still have officers posted at the intersections through town, and we're not letting people off of Main Street onto the residential areas right now.
Tell us about the shelters that are available for folks who have been displaced.
The Quapaw Tribe has opened up their wellness center, which is in the 900 block of Whitebird, for anybody displaced, as well as Quapaw Middle School gym is also available. So just to keep people from crossing town, if you're on the west side, we're saying go to the gym. If you're on the east side, go to the wellness center. That pretty well covers all areas.
So often folks want to come and see these things firsthand. What would you tell folks who are sightseeing?
Well, tonight, especially after dark, there's still cleanup and assessing the damage. And, for everybody's safety, we'd rather they not come in here if they don't have business here, don't need to be here. And even during the daytime tomorrow, obviously it's not going to be cleaned up overnight. So, we'd rather people not come through here. I know in past experiences, we've had a problem with that. And, at Pitcher and such, we helped with that. And we need everybody to stay out if they don't need to be here, and make everybody's, jobs easier.
Great, thank you so much. Again, that is the Quapaw Police Chief Gary Graham joining us after this tornadic event in Quapaw. Jennifer, we will of course continue to find out what's going on here and let us know the very latest details, pass them on as they become available. Back to you.
Thank you, Gretchen. Obviously, a lot of severe activity here in the 4 states. Let's turn now to meteorologist Ray Foreman to give us the latest information. Ray.
Yes, we are starting to see all of the storms that were warned for earlier. They're moving out of the area. They're weakening as well, so that's good news. There may be one exception for a part of Berry County where we could still see an additional thunderstorm over the next hour or so. However, even that window of opportunity is quickly closing. So once again, we could see an isolated strong storm over parts of Berry County, maybe southern Lawrence County. Otherwise, we don't have any warnings right now. That's good news that we're starting to see drier air moving in across Kansas and Oklahoma and starting to make its way across most of Missouri. Now, we do have a tornado watch still in effect until 2 a.m. However, I do think many of these counties are going to be allowed to expire early, where we've already seen the more settled air mass moving into place. So once again, that's until 2 a.m. I think the probably only threat we have right now would be around the Berry County area to the south and east of Joplin. Now, going into tomorrow, well, we're dry, but we could still see a little bit of rain by early Tuesday morning. We'll talk more about the rest of the forecast here in a few minutes, Jennifer.
All right, thank you, Ray. The storm also moved into the Fort Scott area, where it derailed 8 train cars. Winds knocked a grain cylinder on the first car, where 2 men were sitting inside. Neither of them were injured. Crews don't expect to clean up the train until sometime tomorrow. The storm also damaged a couple of dairy farms, killing several cows and causing several others to go missing. After the tornado moved through Quapaw, it made its way to Baxter Springs. Action 12's Brian McCune
in Quapaw, and it seems to have just
very latest. Brian.
Yeah, Jennifer, Sheriff Groves, Cherokee County Sheriff Groves told us that there are currently 9 people that were sent to a hospital with the injuries that we cannot confirm what they are at the time. 25 other people have a minor injury. There is 1 death, but there is no confirmation as to if it had to do with the tornado or if it was for any other reason. There's also 1 person unaccounted for, but again, can't say if that's because of the tornado. Sheriff Groves told us that the damage mostly started by 19th and Park and moved northeast diagonal. When it moved diagonal, it started a 2-mile long and 2-block wide damage area. Now, people who live in that area, they will be allowed to go there starting tomorrow, but they will need to have their IDs. There will be first responders there to check IDs, make sure they do live in that area. So again, if you do live in that area, make sure you have an ID with you. For people who do not, people whose homes were lost and they need a place to go, they can go to one of 3 places: the First Baptist Church, the Baxter Community Center, and also the First Christian Church in Baxter Springs. Now, the tornado touched down at about just before 6 o'clock, and right now they've already, like I said, they've already checked the place 3 times already. There is a 10 p.m. curfew, and they're done the first responders are done searching at the moment. For people who want to volunteer tomorrow, they can meet at 8 o'clock at the Baxter High School, and at this time we have no other information, but when we do have information, we'll make sure to present it to you. Jennifer, I'm going to send it back to you.
I also heard that people that want to volunteer can go to City Hall at 9 in the morning. Is that correct?
It's at 8 o'clock in the morning at the Baxter High School,
Okay.
Baxter Springs High School. That's where people can go if they want to volunteer, help search, help clean up. Sheriff Groves did say the 2 main things for tomorrow is safety and also to start the cleanup process.
Okay, thank you, Brian, for that report. Missouri will see less funding from tobacco companies this year than in the past. Coming up in this week's Legally Speaking, we'll explain how something that happened 10 years ago means less funding now.